Alright everybody, welcome back on into another 8 versus 8 here in Beyond All Reason. I'm going to be looking at a replay here on Hellas Basin. Let's go ahead and meet our teams. On the red side, coming in at 32 skill is Rick 313, going to be playing in this C position. For the blue team, we have Desker coming in at 27 skill. He has the option of going C, or he can be a backliner. A lot of times we see two players go C for the Northern C here. This map is newer. It hasn't been out very long. Plays fairly similar to Supreme Isthmus. The difference being the northeast side here has these high ground mexes and a geo, whereas the southwest side of water does not have any landmass to build on at all. And with that, let's meet the rest of the players here. Frontliners for the red team are Jonathan Belmont, Ackerman 6, skills of 20 and 2 respectively. We've got Armada vehicles for Jonathan, and we have Cortex bots for Akumar. In the northern mid lane position, we have Enzord Raka coming in with Armada bots. This player usually also ends up in the water. The northern C lane position is Daboss, opening with Cortex bots. We'll see if he stays on land or if he transitions to being in the water. For our tech position on the red side, we have Paradise Lost, starting with Armada bots. And for the air player, we have Full Adrenaline, coming in with Cortex Air, Full Adrenaline at 16 skill, and Paradise Lost at 14. And the last player, mid lane, DSD, coming in with Cortex bots and 22 skill. Red is already going out to claim these mexes and assert themselves across the middle of the map. So let's look at who they're opposing. On the frontliners, we have Fast Forward at 5 skill, going Armada vehicles. Huser coming in at 23 skill, also going Armada vehicles. Will 11 is going into the sea with Cortex from this mid lane position and at 19 skill. Known Troll, Armada vehicles at 3 skill in a mid lane position. We'll see if he supports the front fast here. Vapor Wave, the green player, 27 skill, already in the water for Cortex here. Tech or Air, wow, they played them differently. Like a Fox, going Armada Air, 21 skill. Relix, 18 skill, going Armada bots in this tech position. And it's got some aggression coming forward on this front line here. Fast Forward and Akumar facing back and forth with some LLTs, and then some blitzes versus grunt spam. Looks like Jonathan Belmont is going to be going for Whistler spam, which you need to build up those numbers. Right now the edge for the center here would be, in my mind, on the blue side, but they have to do something with that here. The more LLTs they let Jonathan Belmont build up, the less this edge is going to be. Building blitzes and just having them sit here when they're a mobile, assault unit, or use them to go past and leak by and get into the back line. As you can see, Fast Forward here, if he was building some LLTs, he could afford to send those blitzes past. And on the southern side here, Huser could send these blitzes through. There's one LLT that would reach him if he scoots by on the edge, but he could definitely make it past, taking minimal damage. Will 11 got some gunboats going in, trying to get some fast aggression on this water player. The boss has got build power. It's got no units though. Went for 2 constructors and a construction turret first, after starting out with a bot lab. Very late to the game here. But with the commander here, these gunboats aren't going to be able to do too much. They are going to be able to jump on this constructor here. That will be annoying for the yellow player. And if you can get the build power too, yeah. Now at this point, you got to get out of there, though. That commander is going to wreck them. Yeah. Losing all these gunboats, and they're not going to take down this lab very fast. Commander not in position, though, to fire. There we go. Does get all that wiped up, but in the meantime, now we have frigates coming, and that's going to put out a lot more DPS. And the blue player, Besker, is also getting into the water. Unless Enzord Raka gets in the water and quick, it's going to be a very uphill battle. On the front lines, it looks like Akumar is pushing Fast Forward back. Fast Forward is going for this Janus style, which is good at jumping in and jumping out and dealing a lot of damage. As you can see, Akumar is taking a lot of damage on his commander. But it does have a very big weakness in that Janus's fire extremely slow. So if you have units on your side, you wait for the Janus to fire their volley, then you push forward and regain the ground that the Januses have to give up while they're reloading. They take out that turret. They're going to target this next turret too. And that is a lot of wasted Janus. Uh-oh. Akumar needs to get back with this commander. So low. Enzord has put his commander forward to help out here, but Akumar is going to lose his right here. Yeah. His commander goes down, takes out the mechs with it. Enzord might be able to reclaim the corpse before Fast Forward can get to it. And he is eating up that metal. Meanwhile, up on the sea lane, looks like Will did get the lab for the boss. Knocked him out of the sea. Don't think they're going to be able to get the commander before he retreats far enough inland. But this does secure all of these mexes, which there's quite a few in the northern sea, for the blue side. That's a lot of income. Meanwhile, Enzord didn't go in the sea, so the north lost the sea, but he is shoring up the fronts here on the northern side where Akumar was going to be broken. User doing much better on the southern portion here. Pushing forward. Jonathan Belmont. The red team's front line is just not doing so good. They're doing great in the water, not so good on land. The water, though, if you can control it, this isthmus is definitely narrow enough that you can put missile boats on the side and later on battleships and eventually capital ships and prevent land units from crossing altogether. We've got lots of medium tanks backed up by Janus here, and then no answer from the red team at all. I don't know. Looks like DSD here is going for tier 2. Quickly gonna get a Sheldon ball together to try and shore this up. Get about between 12 and 15 Sheldon together, and that will push this back as long as Enzord and Jonathan provide some units to buffer for the Sheldon. But they gotta survive that long. Gotta survive long enough for these Sheldon to actually build up, and it looks like DSD is working on this advanced geo as opposed to unit production. I don't know how that's going to go for them. Akumar doesn't have his mexes here, which is quite strange. These are 4.3 mexes. Where are they at? I don't know if a run-by got him or what, but he's building build power, and he has 0 metal income. Basically, it's just the boss overflowing that is giving him money to spend. Needs to get a mechs. Oh, man. Got a couple Sheldon out, but if they jump on this now, they will be able to take it down. Enzor does the right thing here and brings these pawns over to buffer, because the Sheldon will take these down in time, but they have to be able to stay at a range, and the medium tanks in high enough numbers will just jump on them and push them back. It looks like an advancement. Is he reclaiming his lab to get metal? He is. That is interesting. Pawns and maces pushing forward here, but there's definitely enough T1 vehicles to take care of those. Genesis exchanging fire. Looks like the red player is going to be taking control of the southern sea against the green player. Got a lot of destroyers and frigates here for the green player, but more numbers for the red player. And definitely has the numerical advantage. And now probably has the income advantage too. We're at 35 for the red player and 18 for the green. That's not going to take too long to yield a huge advantage in the number of forces on the field. Getting very close to production. Going through, taking out all the income though. Just going to try and secure that lead even more. The Sheldon ball is stabilizing the front line. Huser is trying to prevent this by putting up a rattlesnake, which can outrange the Sheldon, but you need to give it range, so you gotta either get a spy bot out or a T1 spam, something so that it can actually see what it needs to shoot. The rattlesnake is done, and it's going to start firing away. First thing it does is it hits one of his own tanks. Less than ideal. Does it again. Alright, well, it's going to push all that back. Huser leaving his commander cloaked here. That's eating up a lot of his energy. There we go. Looks like the red player doesn't want to go in against the green player's lab just yet, which the blue player is now coming over and going to build up a lab and some shore build power. And the blue player could turn this, but I don't think the red player is going to give him time. He is coming in. He's got a commander and a submarine out here taking up the rest of these mexes. The blue player getting in the water here, that can definitely change this dynamic very quickly. The red player needs to jump on this now. Oh, these Sheldon are finally getting up to the numbers where you don't want to push into them. Ah. Yeah, you lose so much trying to push in. You need to have spam at this point to push in. Now, Mausers on the side for Huser are going to yield just a little bit of range advantage over these Sheldon. Or no, I'm wrong. 820 for the Mauser, 850 for the Sheldon. I am completely wrong. I apologize. Well, I learned something new today. I thought that was the other way around. I thought it was 850 for the Mauser and 820 for the Sheldon. It was the other way. Well. Hey, I like seeing this. Spy bots. If you look at the vision here, these spy bots provide you with such value, being able to place your units correctly and, more importantly, fire at an enemy who can't see you. Red has some gunboat spam coming in and notices that the blue player is helping with production. Needs to jump on this fast. Needs to get in there. Oh, we got a push coming on the land as well. Looks like red is going to win this. Let's go see what's happening over here. We got lightning tanks coming in against the Sheldon ball. Backed up by Mauser, and then followed that with mass T1, medium tanks and Janus. One bull on the wrong side of life here. Got some spam coming through, and the Mauser is dealing friendly fire. We were able to push them back, but they weren't able to take out all of the forces. Let's go back to this C engagement here. Red is getting thinned out. These torpedo bombers definitely aiding on the blue side here to take what ship advantage red had. He's dealing with 2 players production. The blue player does have a great income as well. Yeah, the red player just doesn't have the production necessary. He's banking metal. These torpedo bombers giving such a problem. Finally, the fighters come down. Red's commander on land here gets the lab for green. Gets both labs. Gets both labs with T-guns. What a play. They are going to get the medal from the commander, but I would say that's a very, very worthwhile trade. He takes out the green commander as well. Blue's going to try and get the lab back up. We'll see if he's able to get a lab up and get production going fast enough to prevent red from fully taking over this sea. Red is backing off. He's getting more build power up, and he's going to make a T2 transition here, which I don't hate it, but knowing that he took out the production of his opponent, I would have felt better with just spamming units. Looks like with all the artillery now, we have a bit of a demilitarized zone across the center. The only thing making it across is this ambassador, and I'm sure this arbiter is going to do the same. This poor submarine has to deal with the torpedo bombers. That is very frustrating to deal with. Got some res subs healing here. Ooh, excuse me. I apologize. Let's see. Got one APHIS from the tech player for red side. Almost done with the third APHIS though on the blue side. That is a very sizable difference in economy. You can just look at it right here. About double the economy for the blue team versus the red team. All the pinging. Blue has a bunch of Garpikes, which I don't even know the name of because I so rarely see them. As they slowly wind their way in here. They're going to run into marauders, and there's wasps in the air. I feel like he should split these up, but there he goes. Yeah, you gotta take what you can get, and running into a wall of T3 with your T1 amphibious tanks probably not the way to go. Well, Red lost his T2 lab, and his T1 lab was ate up to make the T2 lab. He might clear this up. In fact, I think he is going to clear up all the forces of blue here in the sea, but does he have a T2 constructor left? He's got T1 constructors. He's got a naval engineer, which is build power. Marauders for the red team coming across. Going to try and settle up this score here. Need to get something done, because with the economy disparity in time, it's just going to be very bad. These destroyers from the blue player are sort of moving these Marauder closer to the economic center of Huser. We'll see where they actually go here. There's a Starlight ready and waiting. They're going to need to do a lot of damage. This one's stuck on wreckage. Love that. There it goes, finally. There's a lot of static defense here. Some Marauders for the blue team to match this. Running past the economy that he could have taken out with this Geo here. Takes out a T2 lab, which is nice. Is he going to get the converters? Gets the converters. Gets some build power. Maybe. Gets the APHIS. Gets the economy. Oh, and one of the landing ones takes out these converters. One last Marauder going to take out more of these. See if he can get the last mechs. Alright. The air player here totally decimated economy-wise. Looks like purple, being a little tricky himself, built up a little spam-producing station here on the red side. It's getting anti-air put up. That's a lot of wasps, though. You should just go straight for the commander, and it'll take out the rest for it. There we go. And with that, this little adventure is over. They should really take out this lab, or I can build a constructor and just redo the whole thing. On the front line, we've got Sheldon and Arbiters going up against all of the Armada T1 and T2 vehicles. Blue coming in, going to try and finish off the rest of Red's forces in the seas. And then it's going to be both seas controlled by the blue team. The economies, blue is still in the lead, but red is definitely caught up after that attack on the air player's economy. Slowly working back at it. That tick spam, Starlight's killing ticks all over the place. And here comes blue to take out the last of red's sea forces. I think red is transitioning to land, though. He's got economy coming up. I think red correctly assumed that he wasn't going to be able to come back in the sea, so it wasn't worth it, and used the economy he had from it to start an economy on the land. All of his energy production is going away, and his mechs is on land from these destroyers. Looks like the green player has transitioned to having economy up on this island here, though. That's nice. Air player gets an advanced geo. I think that was gifted to them, actually, because the purple player had been the one that was making it. Or the purple player left and the green just took it. That's what happened. As airwaves collide here. Full adrenaline with Vaporwave. Well, Adrenaline has a lot of torpedo bombers. I think he might be trying to clear the seas. So much posturing in the center. Like eating Arbiter missiles when they do. Let's see, we got amphibious T1 tanks and Shivas coming up. This T1 here from Fast Forward needs to get up in the face of the enemy. Salamanders this time, though, for the blue player, which are much better than the previous ones that he sent up. And now we're getting some labs and getting some economic damage done. Losing their pit bulls, build power. Now Razorbacks follow up. Ooh, well, it's a prude, so it's not gonna pop. Razorbacks take out the T2 lab here for Jonathan, leaving him with no production. Oh, we got some bulls that just ran past. Looks like Jonathan is trying desperately to set up defenses. He's got some pit bulls back here, which should be able to deal with this. Yeah, they do go down. There is still Razorbacks coming, though. Followed by Lightnings, which will help deal with the Wasps, because they have AA on them. Not looking good for the red team. Not at all. We're back down to a double economic advantage for the blue team. Looks like Adrenaline is sending out an airwave, not sure for what goal. Losing a lot of it to static AA. Red and Jonathan are pretty much pushed off of their original spawn locations, trying to rebuild desperately. Yeah. One lone marauder here. Oh, and that's it. The red team calls it GG. Alright, we've had another good map here on Hellas Basin. If you guys enjoyed the cast, please leave me a like below. If there's anything I can improve, leave a comment. And have a good day. Thank you.